consulting on freestyle building. The idea is that you imagine that you will be a consultant. I will be advising for measurements and the reason why to build one type of loop, different type of loops, how to design the new building, all right? You have pieces of paper there. We are not going to fill it because we are not going to have time to do the measurements per se. It doesn't matter. What we're going to do is try to think why all these different pieces, the brisket board, are in that piece of paper, so you understand why it's built in a certain way, not different. All right. What will be the most important measurement of a freestyle for you? The most important part, sorry, of the freestyle. The bearing, always the same, right? The bearing is key. But remember, you cannot go 300 kilometers an hour with a Ferrari and a spare wheel. So a small detail here matters. And for the trimmers, there is some trimmers here. For 2 millimeters of over trimming on the medial toe of the back leg is a lot of over trimming. The 2 millimeters is something like this, right? All right. Here we're not going to talk about millimeters, but we're going to talk about centimeters. So 5 centimeters can make a lot of difference in a freestyle design. So we're going to be playing with those numbers. All right, we're not going to talk about the base. On Friday, we'll have an opportunity to discuss about the freestyle base. But now, what is the second most important measurement of a freestyle for you? Size. The width, right? How wide it is. So you have a measurement here. If you come here, you measure from the center to the other center. That means that this is the only measurement that the builder is going to care about. You can have this size loop, it doesn't matter. The measurement is from the center of the loop to the other center, and the builders will go with that measurement. More than that, no need. But the size of the loop matters a lot because it can eat some of the distance. All right, 750 kilo cow, let's say, Holstein. How much will be the ideal measurement for you for the width of the freestyle? Give me one number. 120, one less. 750 kilos. How much? All right, so here we are talking about centimeters. 125 will be probably, if you look in the tables, the ideal number. What happens if you build less? You will have losses in mill production and comfort. If you build more, you will spend the money on concrete and roof. And what else if you build too wide? What's the problem? Why don't you have 1 meter 50? Imagine that you have all the money. Why don't you have 1 meter 50? Why?
Enough space.
No, no, with 150, 2 meters. So the reason is many people will think there is 2 or 3 movements on research for doing that. But anyways, many people will think if you make it too wide, cows will cross. Then all the advantages of a freestyle, you will lose them. Actually, cows will lie down straight in a wide footpath if the opening for the land space is correct. So don't worry about making it too wide, except for the money, because the opening, if the opening is correctly built. Now we discuss what is a proper opening, right? Let's discuss the opening, because you go to many farms, and in the front there is all kinds of inventions, right? All right, so an opening is everything that is above 1 meter. So here it is 1 meter. Everything that is above this meter should be open, except for the brisket board that can be 10 centimeters high. 10, 15 is not 10, right? So 5 centimeters can make a lot difference on the brisket board. In the 80s, we built 25, 30 centimeter brisket boards in the 90s. Then we changed for other measurements, and now we are pretty much thinking that more than 10 centimeters it will be too much. The reason is not so obvious. Here is, let's say you agree with me for now, for the example, because with the loose bedding it's a little bit more difficult to design without a proper measurement. But let's say that this bedding is 15, this brisket board. It's not so obvious that it's obstructing the lunch space. It's pretty open, right? How do you know that the cow is not totally comfortable on the freestyle? If the bedding is good, the width is good, how do you know? On pasture, sorry, say. Yeah, well, imagine that she's lying down because it's not such a bad freestyle. How do you know that it's still not perfect? On pasture, if you look at cows on pasture, most of them they will be lying down with a leg forward, and that's a natural behavior that helps the cows a lot. But if you have less than more than 10, they won't express that behavior. When cows lie down, they lie down like this. They want to get up. They get up in the back and then in the front. The front is 60% of the weight, and the back is 40% of the weight. If they can express this behavior, they get up, and then this movement is 40 centimeters on. Then they are already up. They just need to back up a little bit. If they cannot express this, they need to raise 1 meter up with the head, and that's not very comfortable. Maybe for a heifer, they will get up and go, but a cow that is starting to be a little bit late, then they will feel it and they won't use the freestyle like they should. So, fully open, 1 meter, so you have something here. Something very small that is in the middle of the way. Anyways, here, this is not 1 meter, it's on the way. You need to have it beyond that meter, right? I'll tell you how this farm was before. This bar, we won't discuss, we haven't discussed it. Let's discuss this bar first. Ahora ya te vas.
Sí, alguno, pero voy por ahí.
Ah, vale. All right. So this bar was before it was here. They decided that they're going to move. So before we keep discussing the crystals, let me know why do you think that this bar is for? Why do you use a neck?
To make the sheep in this place.
So once they get up, they need to have something. The cow said, back up. They back up in the arm, right? So that's good. How tall then it should be? You can put it like this, like this. How much should be this measurement from the bottom to the freestyle surface? Very simple. It's the same as the width. See, if you have here a wide football, 125, this bar is 125. If you have a Jersey or a Montbéliard with 550 kilo, this is 120 and this is 120. All right. So the freestyle is a square. You look from here, it should be a square with a 1 meter clearance, with a brisket board that is not more than 10 centimeters. Clear? All right. Now, where do you place it? This neck rate with respect to the rest of the freestyle. In mattress herds, you have a rubber here. Then this bar should be placed about the same as the brisket board. So the brisket board is to place the cow with the butt ready to poop outside. So it's about 120, 185 for cows of this size. You need to look at the table. There's no magic in here. It's like when you buy a washing machine, it has instructions. Who reads the instructions of the machines that you buy? Nobody reads the instructions. Here you need to read the instructions. It will be the same height, same level. And if you have loose bedding like this one, you need to place this a little bit backwards. Otherwise, cows will love to stand in this soft bedding. So in soft bedding, good quality, you can allow yourself to move this bar a little bit backwards, but not lower. Give you an example. Sometimes you go to a farm and the farmer says, my brisket board is not working because some cows are too much inside, some cows are too much outside. But the brisket board is well, you measure it is about the same, the good distance, but the cows are like a saw. Some here, some there. This is because this is not working. Cows, they lie down and then they think, I'm gonna get up. If I'm gonna get up and if it's too low, I'm gonna hit the bar. So let me try a little bit forward. They get up, next time, oh, let me go a little bit outside. So when you follow the rules, there is no banging in those bars. It's no need even to check. If you will check now here, there will not be any marks or anything. And you don't need to look for the marks. Just follow the directions for the cows, which is your reference cow. The wider, the bigger cow, the smaller cow, or the average cow for the measurements. If you build for the average, you will have 50% of the cows uncomfortable. Right? By definition, it will be perfect for the average or less. So you need to build for the big cows. So the cows that you really want to have in your farm. It can be the cow that you want to have next year. Imagine that you have a bunch of heifers here, but this building is going to be for a 800 kilo cow. You need to build the barn for the 800 kilo cow max that you're going to have, because otherwise you will be damaging already. And there is a rule that works all the time. If you have free stalls for 650 kilo cows, don't worry, you will have 650 kilo cows at the end, because the larger ones will disappear, right? So then build for the best cows that you want to have in this barn, and then the rest you will adapt. But the smaller ones are going to poop inside, right? But that's another problem that you have, right? If the brisket board is well located, you're going to manage. They are going to manage more or less, but you need to build for the best cows that you have on the farm. And if they are 100 kilos more than those, then those are the ones that decide how much is going to be the design of this one. Right? Any questions? We are good?
We're good. 30 seconds.
Yes.
I have a question. What do you think about farmer are using three lines of the
So 3 row barns?
Yes.
Yeah, 3 row barns. I don't know why even they exist, but the 3 row barns. So I want to tell you one thing. So what's the most limiting factor in transition cows? Feeding space. All right. So if I have 125 and I have 2 rows, my space for every cow is half of this space, right? Because in this space of feedback, I have this cow and I have this one. And then here I have this space, this cow, this one. So the half of it is going to be for each cow in the bank space. If my limiting factor is, if my magic number is 75 centimeters of feed space per cow for transition cows, and I have 1 cow per stall, 100%, then there is not enough space for feed. For transition cows, 3 row pens don't work. Basically, if you have 3, for transition cows don't work. If you want to overstock cows up to 120 in lactating or far off dry, they might, you can make them work more or less. There is not a big deal if you overstock a little bit based on free stalls. But if you fill all the stalls, if you fill 100%, you are overstocking the feed bank by a lot. So only for late lactation dry cows, you can make them work more or less.
some farmers probably gonna save money because your farm must be too low.
Yeah. So you need to take a decision. Either put more cows under the roof and make less milk, or make more milk and spend a little bit more in construction. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you soon.